Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today on Enjoying Life with Kim. Today, we have such a special person with us today, Miss Maonie, and we are going to be talking about grandbabies and about enjoying that season of life with our grandchildren. And I know sometimes it gets hard on grandparents whenever they maybe sometimes there's a certain reason or a certain condition, something that may happen that grandparents may have to raise their grandchildren. But today we want to encourage people to enjoy that season no matter what, because it's so beautiful and children are a gift from the Lord. So Miss Maonie, if you would just kind of introduce yourself to us, and we'll get to talking about it.
Okay, I'm Maonie Mills Littlejohn, born and raised in Union Mills, and now I'm living in Boston. So I'm a retired LPN and worked in the medical field for several years, since 1994, and retired in 2020. And now I'm enjoying life. I enjoyed life while I was working, but I'm really enjoying life now.
Yes.
Because I get to spend more time with my grandchildren and enjoy my family. So that is just who I am. I'm just a simple woman that loves her family.
Amen. Amen. And so, and your husband just passed. Has it been
2022? He passed 2 years ago in February.
Okay.
A little 2.5 years ago, maybe a little more.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you do something special, guys. I'm telling you, I know this inspiration was straight from heaven. So Maonie, you do something with your grandchildren that is just so amazing, and I just cherish this. And thank you, because it's an example to us. So Miss Maonie has a venture that she does every year, and it's called, is it Granny Camp?
Granny Camp.
Okay. Yeah. Would you tell us what that is, and how it came about?
Well, I guess it was like maybe 10 years or more ago. I had this thing about, I thought about my son and his wife, and they had one daughter, and I thought about, giving them a break during the summer. I know the kids get out of school in the summer, and I thought, well, I think I'll just give them a break and keep her for a week, night and day. And I started keeping her and for a week, night and day, give them a break during the summer while school was out. And she was the only one for a while. I just kept her here at the house and let them do whatever for that 1 week that they wanted to do it. And I guess she might have been around, four or five when I started doing that.
Uh-huh. Because she's 16
now. She's 16 years old.
That's Miss Cassie.
Yeah. And I started, then I got, my other son had a foster daughter, Khalees Brown, and she started coming and spending time with me. So we would stay around the house, and I'd take them places around the area of home. But then some years later, maybe a couple of years later, I started taking them, out of town somewhere. We'd go out of town and stay for a week. We'd get us a hotel room, and I'd take them and let them enjoy just being away from home.
Uh-huh.
They love staying in the hotel room. And so I started calling it Granny Camp even before we started going anywhere. Because, I don't know, the name just came up. And it was my Granny Camp. It was my grandchildren.
Beautiful.
We were going, I guess I call it Granny Camp, because we would go away and stay somewhere and come for a week and come back home. And
now, let me interrupt you right there. When you were first doing it at home, how did you do it? Did you? I'm asking because I've seen a lot of it on Facebook, and you do different activities.
Oh yeah.
You plan it out and do those different activities for the week.
Right. Well, one of them was gym mining. They still love it. To
Uh-huh.
this day, they all love to go gym mining. So there was one up on 64 and one up on 221. We'd go to one or the other and let them hunt to the pretty gemstones in the sand. And,
Oh, you know, and kids love rocks.
They love rocks. I don't know what it is about rocks, but they would get so excited about doing the gem mining. That's one of the things we did. Even when we were staying at home, I'd take them up to the gem mine and let them hunt for the pretty stones in the sand, and they loved that. So that's been with us ever since Granny Camp. We still do Granny Camp.
That reminds me.
Gem mining.
That reminds me of, you know, of them enjoying God's creation, and that's awesome.
Yeah, but I just love my grandkids, and then I think it was maybe the 4th year, I ended up having a great granddaughter. She joined us. There was 3 of them. The first few years it was Khalees, Cassie, and Jada. Jada's the great granddaughter. So
I think I remember when she joined in.
yeah, she was just a little one, and she started joining us, and I was still taking me and the 3 kids. We'd go somewhere and stay, and it was always fun, and I wasn't ever afraid to go somewhere with them by myself. It was just that way. I think I just trusted the Lord to keep us safe.
Yes.
Because I
believe it was truly God inspired. He's gonna keep you safe.
Oh yeah. Because I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
So the idea just came to me one day to start keeping the grandkids, to let the kids have a week for themselves, do whatever they wanted to do. So
those motherly instincts.
Oh yeah.
So now, whenever you first started, your husband was here. He hadn't gone on to be with the Lord yet.
Right.
And so and you were doing it at home. So you had some of his help.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He enjoyed it as well, because the Cassie, the first one that I started doing it, Cassie she would concoct some kind of little stuff on the stove. She called herself cooking, and she'd always say, Papa Bill, you gotta taste this. he said, I'm not eating that. But I always like to see them, interact together, because she was so little that she would have herself cooking for him. She called herself cooking for him. And one time she put us both on diet. She said we could only have rice. She had it stuck on the refrigerator. She said rice, and it was a couple other things. She said, this is what y'all can eat. You can't eat nothing else. But she was real. It was so much fun having her, because I hear people talking about they don't want to be bothered with their grandkids, but I just can't understand that. Because I love to be around them, and they're so fun, so much fun. And it's grown to now I have 2 great grandsons that with us. The youngest one is 4, and one's 7. So, and the girls, Cassie and Jada, they're up some size so they can help with the boys. So, and then my daughter started going with us when she had her grandchild. Jada started going, so she started going with us. So
they are not going to miss out on the fun.
That's right.
I don't blame them.
so it's grandma and great grandma at their house to some of them.
Wonderful. That's so wonderful. So, and you just answered the next question. I was going to talk about, now that your husband is going to be with the Lord, you don't have that help, but you have your daughter that has joined in, and then just see how God does it. And then also your Cassie and one of the other ones is old enough to have to take care of the smaller ones.
Cassie's 16, Jada's 14. So they're little mamas to the little ones now.
And I know that is such a so rewarding to them to be able to help you.
They're learning to do, to be responsible.
Yes.
that's another thing. You got to teach kids. They
Uh-huh.
don't grow up being
Mhm.
able to do all this stuff.
Mhm.
My mom taught me,
Mhm.
you know, how to be a mom, how to take care of kids. So
Mhm.
kids got to learn it from somewhere.
Yes,
And I
they
know,
do.
I know their parents teach them, but you know that grandma and grandpa stuff
Mhm.
is what my kids got, and I think it
Uh-huh.
was so rewarding and so good for them to have that.
Yes.
So I think grandparents are important.
They are, and I
Very
know one
important.
time when Casey was small, because Mama kept Casey when I was work, and so one day Casey at home, Casey was just singing. She was singing the whole thing. This is my story. This is my song.
Mhm.
And I just sat there and listened to her, and I said, Casey, how did you learn that song? She said, Granny taught me. Yeah. So
I started singing Jesus Loved Me for the babies, the little ones, the two little boys. That's when I put them to sleep singing. When I keep them, I sing that. And
yeah.
one of them started, he learned it, he started singing it. And now the 4-year-old, he sings it sometimes. He don't sing it that much, but he goes to church with his mom and dad, so he sings. One of his favorites is Wade in the Water.
All right.
He heard it somewhere, so he sings that sometimes.
There's some bass in there.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Bible tells us to leave legacy, not just to our children, but our children's children, and so on. And I do believe this is part of the legacy. This is a part of, you know, we are helping, grandparents help the parents instill godly values in the children.
Oh, yeah.
Let them know about God. Let them know why we're here, what we're here for. Let them know about their gifts and talents that God's given them, and just leading and guiding them in that direction toward loving the Lord and having a relationship with Him.
You have to have Him in your life. Nobody's you see a people talking about a self-made man, a self-made. Nobody made themselves.
God put all those gifts and talents in them, and gave all those inspirations.
Yes, but
Praise His name.
but the granny camp has been going on for, I would say, as far as going out, going somewhere, taking the kids or somewhere, maybe 10 years now. And like I say, Cassie, I started with Cassie, and Cassie's 16. She still loves to go. And you know, most children, they get teenagers, they want to go on their own, don't have nothing to do with their parents and grandparents. So.
But you have set a beautiful foundation.
She loves the granny camp. And she looks forward to it.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
She's usually the first one to say, when we where we going this time on granny camp?
What's the date and where we going?
Where we going? She's even started doing once we say where we're going, she'll check out the places and she'll do the itinerary, and she'll say, we're going to do this, we can do this, can we do this this time, can we do this? And I think, well, yeah.
Isn't that such a great help? Yeah, and she even took a lot of pictures. She took a lot of pictures. She
did a lot of pictures and videos and put them up. Oh, goodness. She's good. She's good at that.
You have started a wonderful legacy.
I hope that she keeps going, and when she have children and grandchildren, she'll keep it going, and even the rest of them. But we didn't have nothing but girls. I didn't have nothing but girls for the first few years, and then my son has 2 sons, and each one of them has a son. So now they're into it. They're the great grands. So it's just good to have your grandkids. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have my grandkids, and just to spend time with them and enjoy them. That's
such
life.
a joy.
That's a beautiful life. I love it.
Yes.
I love
So, what would you say to grandparents that are struggling because they have so much responsibility?
I would just say, enjoy it. Look for the good.
Look for the good,
the
yes.
fun things, the things you can just, I mean, it just makes your heart feel so good.
Does.
The things that just make you feel so good. You just like you're floating sometimes.
Uh-huh.
You enjoying your grandkids and your kids, and it's so good. It feels
It's so
so
precious.
Good. It is. Yeah, I think it just keeps me young. I tell people, my grandkids keep me young.
Yes, they do.
You have to be.
You got to get in the floor and wrestle.
Yeah,
and
you have to be physically, able to do. But you don't even have to be able to do that. But just having them around,
yes,
with all that energy and that, and they just love, and they don't. They have their little differences and squabbles, but most of the time it's just enjoying seeing them just be together and enjoying each other. It makes you feel good to see kids do that.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, because I know that Granny Cap has been an inspiration to me ever since you started it.
Yes,
and Reverend Petty was your announcer, or what do you call it?
I call her. We call each other co-grandmothers.
Yeah, but what do you call it? She marketed your Granny Cap.
Oh yeah, she was my advertiser.
Advertiser, yeah, that's it.
She was my advertiser, so we get along. We just love each other, and so we tease each other about who spoiled Cassie the most. She gave me a ribbon one time, the world's greatest grandmother. But yeah, and I know she's a good grandmother.
She is.
She loves Cassie. Yeah. She has another granddaughter.
So now, what is your name? Are you grandma?
I'm Granny.
Granny, and she's Grandy.
She's Grandy.
Yeah.
I'm Grandy for Cassie. Yeah.
And we're not leaving out the grandpas. We're not leaving out. But we're just kind of focusing a little bit on the Granny Camp today.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a good time. We exchange stories about the granddaughter.
Yeah.
And just encourage her and try to be supportive.
Yes.
But yeah, I try to do it for all of them because they need that.
They do.
It's so much in the schools now that bullying and stuff going on. Kids need to be protected and need to know that somebody loves them and there for them when something happens. So, yeah, it's hard on them.
So thank you. Our time is about up. But just thank you so much for spending time with us today and giving us some ideas about how to enjoy our grandchildren and things to do that they will enjoy. Yeah. So I've got something special for you.
Oh, wow.
So,
and another thing I just want to say, once the kids grow up and gone, you can't go back. You can't go back and enjoy them. So enjoy your grandkids.
Thank you for saying that.
Enjoy them.
Yes. And we can do it.
Well, we can do it.
Yes, we can, no matter what situation it is, we can enjoy it because we're not looking at the right things sometimes. Right. Philippians tells us to look on those good things, and children are gifts from the Lord.
They are heritage. He gives children and grandchildren, and the children are heritage.
Yes, they are.
That's something.
They are. Yes. And so we just want to encourage you to enjoy your grandchildren. And so we've got something special for you. This is the first kids book that I did. And it is I'm a Grandbaby. I don't know if you can see it. And so this book just kind of tells, it's something for grandparents to enjoy with their grandchildren and letting them know how grand they are in our life.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for being with us today.
I encourage somebody to be a better grandparent.
Oh, you have encouraged me, and I know you have encouraged all the listening audience. Thank you for being with us today, and we'll see you next time. And you can find I'm a Grandbaby on Amazon. Thank you.
All right.